Howdy, howdy! It's been a
on?
while. It's been a while. We are back in a familiar podcast spot because over there in the office is slap full of Christmas stuff and stock and all that. So here we are.
Yep.
We'll give it a few minutes, let everybody get on here, but we're live. Happy New Year almost.
Yep.
We'll be here tomorrow, Friday. We're gonna close Saturday, and then we'll be back next week. But happy to see everybody. It's been a while. Let me get flipped back over here. We got some questions to answer. We got all kind of stuff. Happy New Year. I know it's been a while. Let's see. Well, last Thursday was what, New Year's or Christmas Eve?
Last Thursday was Christmas Eve. Friday was Christmas Eve.
Seems like the past several weeks something's been happening.
Yeah.
And then I think the week before that, my daughter had a thing with her little dance class we had to go to and all this. So it's been a few weeks.
It has.
Do we have a match? Do you have to match up the helical of your vanes with offset or your broadhead? Not necessarily, but I'll tell you what I found. Years ago, I shot those Crimson Talon broadheads that has that like helical built into the blade. And back then, I was shooting a left-hand helical, but the blades were actually a right-hand helical, and they flew crazy. And I even had one unscrew in flight. So, but no, I would think it's not that big a deal. I mean, I would also say though, if you're putting like a super extreme helical on your vanes, but the broadhead's just a little bit offset, it could go crazy. But I hadn't experienced any trouble with that, so I guess just test it and see, but not to my knowledge. Adam said he's been worried about us. I know it. Like I was telling him, we was closing last week for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and the week before that, my daughter had a dance recital thing I had to go to, and it seemed like something.
Squirt had a.
That's right.
Had a Christmas play at school.
The week before that, it's been something every week.
Yeah.
But we finally back, and we are here. So we're out here at our old podcast spot.
Yeah.
Because we got a bunch of bare bows in, and the hallway's filled with bare bows and Christmas stuff we've took down in the office. So we're out here.
Yep.
But anyway, we're here. I figured it'd take a few minutes for people to find us because it's been a while. We got some questions. Let me think what to tell you here. We got a good many bare bows came in, all kind of cool bare bows. We got some inlines. We got more inlines coming. Hopefully they'll be here within a month, I'm hoping. Made our target order, our big shot target order. They said about a month on those. Oh, excuse me. We got some arrows coming. So a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yep.
But
I guess we need to update them about our broadhead testing.
Broadhead testing. Rocky said he's been missing us clowns. I know it. We've been missing y'all too. We hadn't done any broadhead testing in a few weeks. We're just trying to get through Christmas and New Year and all that. And I think I'm going to go ahead and reach out to a couple companies because some of those videos have got a couple thousand views. I'm going to reach out to a couple companies and say, hey, here's what we're doing. Would you be interested in sending us a pack of broadheads? I ain't trying to mooch or nothing, but maybe we can get a few packs to test. I mean, it's not like we're going to use them. We're just going to test them. But anyway. What else we need to tell them about? We're almost back in South Carolina. We're almost back into 3D season.
Yep.
About 2 weeks, they start having some 3D shoots around here. Hunting season's only got like 2 days left. So.
And it's been raining like cats and dogs the last couple days.
Raining, and it's freaking in the 70s. All of a sudden, we're 70-something degrees. The deer's freaked out. I seen somebody post, this is the worst end of hunting season we've ever had, and it might be true because it is hot.
Yeah.
But anyway, any particular broadheads we're itching to test? I know we need to do some rage because we hadn't done any rage yet, and I know that's a super popular broadhead. I know there's another couple we had talked about.
The Magnus broadheads.
I think we can probably get them now, but when we kept trying to order them, they were back ordered, so we didn't get them. The Magnus stuff. What's up, Stan?
What up? I know a lot of people has been wanting us to do an iron wheel.
Yeah, iron wheel. So I'm gonna just kind of email a few of those. I feel like Rage with Faradyne being a huge company, I probably don't have a chance at getting a pack of those. But some of like Iron Will, maybe, I don't know. So we'll see. What's up, Merritt Outdoor? Terrible Bow Hunter said howdy.
What's up?
But we got some questions we'll run through, and if y'all got anything, just put it in the chat, and we'll chat right along.
Alan gets in and says, how many pounds can I typically back a bow down?
You know, it used to always be 10, but now some bows, like a lot of these bear bows we got above the camera here, I mean, they'll go down to like 15 pounds and up to 70. The San Lita bows will do sort of something similar. So you really just got to know what model. He didn't put what model, right?
No, he didn't put what model.
But so it's just according to the bow.
Yeah, and it also, whatever model bow you got, I would also worry about how many turns you can take out on that limb bolt. So just, just Google your bow, type in old Google, how many turns can I take out of my limb bolt, and it'll give you an idea.
Kevin said a big shout out from Denmark. He said thank you for the videos. They've helped him out getting into bow hunting. Thank you for watching.
Yeah,
it's crazy to me how many people, we got people in Australia and over in Europe and all that. And that, to me, that's crazy that two rednecks could be reaching that many people. But
exactly.
I get emails and stuff every now and then saying, hey, appreciate it. I'm from wherever. That's just cool to me. Rocky said he's got every kind of rage broadhead by the hundreds, but they're the Chinese knockoffs, but they've killed a lot of critters. Honestly,
we had talked about doing that.
I need to do a regular rage versus the Chinese knockoff head to head. I'm sure other people have done it, but from what I've seen of the ones that came through the shop with people, I can't really tell a huge difference. Yeah. So I don't know that there's enough, in Fairdyne, the company that owns Rage, they source most of their stuff from China, so it just makes you wonder if it's not almost the same thing. What's up, Muddy Ducks?
What up? We got, Larry got in and said, will you guys be reviewing more 2022 bows?
We will be. I still got to, and I've just been lazy, and there's been craziness going on we had a little Christmas rush, people buying a lot of bows for Christmas and that sort of thing, but I still got to do the inline one to complete the prime lineup, and then we got a ton of bear stuff we need to review. I mean, we got the Refine, the
Redemption,
basically every bow they make that I don't have a video on, so I got to get into that. And then I've got probably in the next week or two I'll do a trade-in bow video because we've took in a couple bows. We got I think an Expedition, a Matthews V327, a Q2, some stuff. So I got one or two I'm gonna put a string on, but maybe next week or the next I'll get a video out about used bows we got for sale. And we'll see if anybody needs one of those, but took in a few bows, got in a lot of new bows. I'm trying to think. Mainly we've just been busy with the Christmas rush and had those couple days off for Christmas Eve and Christmas and all that. Hopefully y'all had a good Christmas.
Yeah.
We might have a little trick up our sleeve for next week's live feed. Next Thursday we'll be live, but it's probably going to be a little later. So in our time zone, we normally go live at about 6. It's probably going to be 8 or 9 or something. But y'all stay tuned for that.
Yep.
Will solo cam bows ever make a comeback? I doubt it. Yeah. I think they'll stay at that price point bow, but you can only get so much speed out of a solo cam, and that's kind of when even Matthews said, all right, this is all we can get, so we're going to something different, and went to the monster stuff. So I think you'll still see them, but they're slowly phasing out. But they're so easy to tune and work on and all that, but
I kind of wish Matthews would do a throwback one year.
I still think they ought to at least keep one sort of higher end, solo cam in the lineup, but I don't know what their plans are.
You got anything?
Yeah, Muddy Ducks got engaged.
Oh, yeah, I seen that.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
I seen that on Facebook. So that was a big Christmas present.
Yep. Terry gets in and asks, what's the process to ship my bow for you guys to restring?
Basically, jump on the website, archeryshackstrings.com, click on Super Tune, put in what color strings you want, and, blah, 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 blah. Ship us, it's got the address and all on there. Ship us your bow and at least one arrow. We'll restring it, tune it, all that stuff, send it back to you. we covered the return shipping, so that works pretty good. We've actually got 2 or 3 about to ship back out that we've had in.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. But yeah, we keep getting more and more people shipping them in. Either they don't have a local shop or whatever's going on. So it works out pretty good. And I've looked at other ways of doing it. Like I would love to. Most people have trouble finding a box to put them in.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to be able to ship you a box. You know, you basically just put the bow in it, have a return label already with it, and just throw the label on, ship it back. I'm just trying to find the best cost-effective way to do that. Because we get a lot of people call and say, I want to send my bow, but I don't have a box, and I don't know how I'm going to ship it. And if you get into a little bit bigger box, it costs a good bit of money, you know. A regular bow box you can ship for $20, $30
Mm-hmm.
normally. You put it in like a TV box, it can cost $50, $60, $70, $80. So.
And if you ship it in a bow case, it gets way up there.
Steve is on here. I was just working on your bow a while ago. I like it. I like you can fine tune the limb stop on it there. So I've got it, you know, feeling like it's got pretty good let off going on. Oh, Alexa's talking to us. There's an Alexa in there talking to us. The Martin, a couple of years ago, the Martins that we shot had a good bit of vibration in them. That bow don't have any vibration in it.
Yeah.
So I'm impressed by that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's got sort of an elite looking riser. I mean, I like the caged riser look, you know, the way they got it cut out. But overall, that bow's shot good. I'm gonna shoot it again tomorrow. I'm gonna shoot it outside and do some walk back stuff. But the 125 grain tip and that day 6 300 spine arrow is doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
The 150 was giving me a little bit of a quirky something, so I'm gonna play with it and see what happens. But I like it. Perry's on here. Perry left a while ago. He came and bought a bear legit. I think I showed y'all before. We had that legit that was black with the electric blue trim on it. So he bought that for his son for Christmas. Looks pretty good. And that's going to be one of them bows like you're going to see a ton of. So yeah. I think that's pretty cool. But we got him sighted in and set up. We got to get Perry. I'm hoping Perry gets back to shooting because we need a good reason to go shoot. I feel like
I know.
We just get bored, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, we ain't going to go shoot. But I think Perry's getting fired up.
Well, we get wound up about it because we always shoot that first one and get wound up. But it seems like either A, it rains on the days that we're going to go, or B, something comes up with kids or something.
So, Kevin said, has a question, trying to figure out people's preference for an XL sight or not. What is your take? The XL is a must-have, or do you prefer a smaller sight? It's according to what I'm doing with it. You know what I mean? Like, most of the time on a hunting bow, I go with something smaller, but like on my tournament stuff, we go all out. But we're seeing more and more people going with more dovetail style sights and higher end $300, $400, $500 sights on hunting bows. And at first I was like, this is crazy, but I mean, it does make a little bit of sense going higher end because I mean, you can fine tune it, and you know, you're, I guess, putting what I used to consider tournament technology stuff into a hunting bow now, which is great. So I don't know, it's just preference. What's up, Brad?
What up?
Steve said he's got another bow he's gonna ship us this spring. Yeah, we don't like with the Martin stuff. We don't even have a Martin dealer anywhere around here that I know of. We had a rep come by several years ago, and I thought maybe he was in North Carolina. I thought maybe we'd start seeing him, but I think he's already gone or whatever. So we don't have. I don't even know who our closest Martin guy is, dealer-wise. But so we don't get to play with too many of them. We got several that come in, but it's not like, you know, PSE or Matthews or whatever we see a lot of. So it's nice to have something a little different in. But
and normally we don't see the newer Martins. It's you know, a few of the older ones that we see.
But no, that one I noticed for the 21 model. I think on the limb stop they numbered some stuff a little better and all that. That would, I mean, it's not a huge deal because we got a draw board and we can kind of set it, but that would definitely be nice. I don't know, are they going to the show or not?
No, they backed out.
Okay.
Him and Obsession.
Okay.
They both backed out.
What's a good bow for hunting in 3D, like a hybrid style? We usually tell people like a 35, 36 inch bow, you know, like just example in the prime lineup, the inline 5 or the Nexus 6 is kind of in that. But I mean, I know people shooting 33-inch bows 3D. You know, I mean, I know people that put a long bar on a 33 and shoot it just as good.
Yep.
But for me, I like that 35-inch or so. You know, to do both with, and that's kind of what, like our tack setups, that's kind of what we're doing with it. It's like kind of hunting bow, but kind of 3D somewhere in the middle.
Yep.
But we had a Garmin A1 Pro in here yesterday, Terry.
Yeah.
But I hadn't really messed with it, so I don't have any feedback yet. Because he had bought a Garmin a year or two ago. He's going to put it on his backup bow, and he bought the new one to put on his new RX-7 or whatever. But I hadn't really got to fool with it yet. Maybe we can give you some updates soon.
We got Barry getting in here with what's our favorite peep, the Hamsky or the Specialty?
I'm more familiar and have shot more specialty,
yeah.
But I've also dealt with a Hamsky and don't have any trouble with it either. I just feel like I go more specialty because I've been around them longer, you know what I mean? But I don't know that there's one. Anybody watching got a preference or a reason why one's better than the other? I don't really know.
I know the Martin back here's got is it a Hamsky in it?
I think so. I think it did. Got to get, let's see, I finished a Hoyt ship in. The Martin I got to finish tinkering with, get the peep tied, get all that done. It should go out tomorrow. Well, will the mail run Saturday?
Not New Year's Day, I don't think.
Well, it might go out Monday then.
They may run tomorrow, but I think they'll be closed.
Yeah, they'll run tomorrow. But anyway, we're gonna do a little fine tinkering, but so far it looks pretty good. There's a lot of, I like to see, like Martin, for example, they've put a lot of thought into certain things. Like I like the way their axles are, you know. It's not your typical Eclipse, and it keeps the limbs tight and stuff like that. And then you get, you know, I wish we could take the best of a few bow companies and be like, here, somebody make us this, you know what I mean? But let's see here. How are we on string orders? We're getting caught up. I'd say we're a week and a half behind right now, but we're getting there. If it'll stay about like it's been this week, maybe next week or the next we'll be getting on top of them. It's been sort of a slow week on string orders, but I just figure Christmas and New Year's, you know, everybody's out doing stuff. But yeah, pick some colors and just let me know.
Got Justin getting in here. Anybody else making a nose button or just Bowmar?
Just Bowmar, unless there's something I don't know about.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hadn't really researched if there's some kind of patent on it, or if nobody just has made one. Or I would think at some point, if there wasn't a patent, like Pine Ridge and all them companies would start making them. But I still like to take one of the little Pine Ridge or Neat or whatever eliminator buttons and put up there for a nose button. I don't really, like on my tournament bow, sometimes I'll do that. I don't need it to be sharp or whatever, but I can just barely feel it. But then you also got to watch out, because if you're going to shoot distance like total archery, you know, you get it set at 20, but then when that sight drops down and your anchor point changes, well, so does that nose button. So it's kind of, you got to move a little bit.
Let's see. Zach gets in. I have a really old bear bow, probably a 90s model. Is there any way to fix a cracked limb, or is it junk at this point?
I would say look on the internet. Best bet is you can find somebody else with one, either trying to sell it cheap or has got a cracked limb and maybe they're looking for one, and at least one of y'all can take parts from one another. But no, most of these bow companies,
about 5 years now.
I don't know what happened during COVID, but like even PSC, for example, the example I'll give is a guy brought in a Brood X about 2 years ago, very popular bow at the time, 8, 9 years old, whatever. Didn't think nothing about it. Called PSC and they said we don't have any parts. We're not going to make any parts for that bow. And we were like, really? And basically what we were told was with COVID hitting, they're just reducing inventory. And I mean, everybody's blaming COVID on everything. So I don't know what to think or believe anymore. But we've had a couple companies now, you know, bows that are only 5, 6, 7 years old, and they'd be like, we ain't got no parts and we don't make any. So you're definitely not going to get it from the factory if it's an older one.
Yeah.
But look online. You know, you never know what you can find. Make a post on Archery Talk or any of these Facebook groups and say, hey, you know, he didn't say what model. I got this bare bow, got a cracked limb. Anybody got one laying around you ain't using, I can buy for $100, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see here. I used to shoot nothing but Hamsky peeps, but in the last 5 years, just shot specialty. The Hamsky were coming in rough around the edges. I did hear that. I hadn't seen it, I don't think, but I did hear that. Thanks for Broadhead test. Happy New Year's from DLR. Can 2022 be the year of the arrow diameter versus strength test? Yeah, we can play with that. I've actually seen Tim Gillingham at these shows. You know, they got a last chance press, and they'll put an arrow on it and bring it in until it pops. And all the pure carbon arrows, you know, they'll go way in and usually won't break, and they can let them back out. And then all the and I didn't realize this, and I'm not trying to trash talk Carbon Express, but they'll take a Carbon Express Maxima, and he was telling me that the coating on that Maxima has got plastic something in it, and he'll take it and bend it and spin it, and that joker will wobble. And on his little press test, it'll break pretty quick, you know, and I never would have thought about anything. But he said it's got memory in it. He said, so, you know, whatever happens, and then you go to shoot it again, and it may not be perfectly back yet and all this. But I don't know if he's got any of that on YouTube, but Tim Gillingham is a weird dude, but the joker is a genius. I mean, I've been in front of him several times, and he showed me stuff like that, and I'm like, man, this is something I wouldn't have really thought about trying or thinking of. My string angle on my V3 is so steep, you can't put hardly anything on like history. I've seen that before. Mm-hmm. DLR says we're looking better every day. He wishes he was this handsome. I mean, it's hard work, DLR. TJ puts on his beard oils and his all that stuff, and I mean, it's on. Brad T loves listening to us. Would like to stop by, but he's 800 miles away. Well, at least we got the internet.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Johnny gets in and says, when I shoot, the string plucks my beard. Any tips? I don't know, because it does mine too.
We're going to get to shooting this year, and TJ's going to have a bald spot.
I mean, I don't know how bushy or thick your beard is, but it's one of them you may just have to try to trim it down a little bit, which, I mean, I notice when mine starts plucking, that's what I'll do is trim it down a little bit so it won't pluck.
Would it not be awesome if TJ got him some of that beard wax and got him the little twirlies, little handlebar thing? No. I think it'd be cool.
All right. Ian gets in, is there a need for a stabilizer these days?
I don't know. I think about that a lot myself. Really, no, but I mean, so pretty much all these new high-end bows either don't have really any vibration, or they got just enough bare bow that when you put a sight and all that on it, it just gets absorbed through all that other stuff. So I don't know. I got two trains of thought. One is screw the stabilizer. You don't need it. It's just extra weight. And then the other one is if you're not walking far when you're hunting, go ahead and put your sidebar and a little front bar on there and stabilize the bow and get it balanced perfect, more like a tournament bow. Because, I mean, ultimately, I know I can make a better shot with all that crap on there. But I'm also not going to go out to Colorado and walk 20 miles or even, well, Total Archery, I do shoot a sidebar, but I shoot a light one. I mean, I don't try to load that thing up. But I'm not going to go walk 20 miles with an extra 5 pounds of weights on it. So it could go either way. If you're going lightweight, stealthy, short, tree stand, maybe not. If you're trying to really balance your bow and that sort of thing, then it's not really going to help as much with vibration as it is with getting that thing perfectly balanced,
I just think that everybody's so used to shooting a stabilizer from when they're back in the day when they first started till now. It's just something. Yeah.
I remember getting hydraulic and silicone stabilizers. I remember I think it was X-Ring. I cut an X-Ring stabilizer apart back in the day, and it had two like springs in it with like a steel ball, and you could shake it, and you could hear the hydraulic oil, but you could also feel them springs moving. Mm-hmm. And I guess in my head that was awesome, you know what I mean? But now it would be like a damn contraption like I ain't ever seen. But anyway, so I don't know. It's personal preference.
Yep.
They're holding up good. They are holding up good. You saved the day. Ryan made us some parts for our specialty string machine that keeps stripping out. And we ought to just give him a big hug and sugar for it.
Mike gets in. Are you guys going to a TAC event this year?
Most likely.
Yep.
We'll probably be back at Tennessee in, May?
Yeah.
Come on and join us.
Oh, yeah.
I got to look. Maybe next couple of weeks we'll go and get registered and all that. But, yeah, we'll be there.
Well, they're not, if I remember right, they're not opening registration until middle of February.
Gotcha.
Is what the last thing they post. ASA used to really be kind of one of my favorites. But when we shot that first TAC, that first year we went, I'd rather go to a TAC than I would ASA shoot.
Well, the ASA is so political, you know what I mean? That's what I don't like about ASA is like, I don't know. In the words of the sea otter, he said, all these damn bow nerds. And I mean, I would consider myself a bow nerd, but
yeah,
there's just a lot of politics in the ASA. TAC is just, let's just go have fun, make some crazy long shots, and then drink a beer at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So I'm all about the TACs.
Yeah. Chuck asked, are aftermarket draw stops worth it?
Maybe. So I know Bomar makes some stuff. I'm just going to throw an example for PSC. They make some that has like a flat spot on it. So instead of it being a round thing that you can kind of pull into and it's a little spongy, it's got a little bit more surface area and it's flat. So it's more of giving you that limb stop feel. And most people do like that. You just got to set them up right. But and they started making them for primes, like with the double cam, dual track stuff. It's something to play with. I mean, I wouldn't say no. I would say try it. You know, I just got a Bowtech Fanatic 3.0, and it has way more vibration than my Rain. Is that typical? It is, just because it's so much longer. So you got so much more room for that string to oscillate. You know what I mean? So, really, a lot of longer tournament bows, like even my CT, what have I got?
You got
a Black 9. It's got a lot more stuff going on than like the 3 did, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just because of the length of it. There's just so much more stuff that can move around.
Rick says, talk me into a single pin.
Get it? You start this off.
Well, the whole adage is, with most hunting situations or hunters that will come in the shop, I don't want a single pin because I ain't got time to reach up and move it. I'm like, yeah, I used to be the same way. You could not get me out of a multi-pin sight for deer hunting. And I acquired a single pin and stuck it on my hunting bow, and I love it. I won't go back to a multi-pin. Number one, I don't have 4 or 5 pins coming in the side where blocking my field of view. The biggest thing is people are scared that if you're hunting deer, a deer comes in at 20 yards, you spook it, it spooks for some odd reason, it runs out at 40. You don't have time to reach up and turn your yardage to 40 on the dial. I always tell people, set it at 20 yards, step back to 30 and 40, and aim like you were at 20 yards just to see how much your air drops.
Yeah.
Some setups that I had on that one particular bow, from 20 to 30, it was dead on. Didn't have to do anything. And at 40, it dropped like maybe 2.5 inches. And I just do that. And it made my life a whole lot easier. Sighting in time was cut in half. You're not out there for 3 days trying to sight in multi-pins. You get tired and you start chasing air, and you go out the next day and you re-sighting in everything because you was tired trying to get the sight sighted in. And I mean, it's just, to me, it opens up the field of view and that scope. So when I'm aiming at that deer or whatever you're shooting at, you can concentrate more on that one pin than you're trying to figure out, okay, he's 20 yards, okay, there's my 30-yard pin.
Yeah, that's my main argument for it is, and I come from shooting tournaments for years and years, but just being able to take that peep and that single one pin housing and line them up, that gives you another anchor point. You center your peep around the housing, you center your peep with the pin. I mean, it just works. And I tell people, even if you don't shoot like a spot hog double pins, let's say you shoot a HHA, you can still take a silver Sharpie or even a little dot of white out and figure out where to dot your up pin, and that'd be like a reference for like 40 yards. Or for me, I leave mine set on 25 if I'm hunting. So I'll put my dot at 40, and I know if I got to make some kind of quick decision here, here's where 40's at, and that way it don't freak me out. But you ain't got. I mean, I can only think of about once where I had a deer hightailing it, walking, and I was like, oh crap, I ain't got time to move my sight. But most of the time, you know how it is. You sitting up there, they fooling around. You can get your stuff ready. But
yeah.
Anyway.
The biggest thing is practice with it. That's just the biggest thing.
Yeah.
People scared because they know with a fixed pin, multi-pin, they've got 20 to 50 or 20 to 60 or however many pins is in that sight, and they don't have to worry about it. But even with a single pin like mine, 20 to 40, I know exactly where my air is going to hit if my sight's locked on 20 yards from 20 to 40, and I ain't never killed a deer past 40 yards.
Yeah. Ryan said, what arrows are we using for tack? I've been taking a little bit smaller diameter. I've been shooting the Renegades, because typically for my tournament setup, I shoot a big PS26. But shooting 100 plus yards, you don't know if it's going to be windy.
Yeah.
The wind would blow that big PS26 out in the left field somewhere. So I'm shooting a little bit heavier, a little bit skinnier, like a Rampage Renegade setup, and then I ain't got to worry about it too much.
And I'm running a Spartan, and it's just a hair bigger than a Renegade. And
yeah.
I mean,
you could shoot anything. It's more of a, in my head, a field setup. You know what I mean? Because you're shooting a long distance. There could be wind. There could be this, that, and other going on. So that's what I've been taking.
Let's see here. Al asked, what's the funniest thing you guys saw this year archery related?
I did make a list.
Me too.
Let me look real quick. I don't know if I put everything on this list. I'm sure I didn't, but I remember first part of the year I was like, I'm going to start writing this stuff down as people come through.
Well, the peep sight that come in from the box store that was completely tied through the peep.
Y'all seen that on the video?
Yep.
They tied the peep in through the middle of the peep. That might be one of the best. Somebody said, why did my mechanical heads not open up at 76 yards on a doe? What do I need to change whisker biscuits sizes if I up my poundage? Some guy called, I think you talked to this guy, wanting to convert a compound bow to a recurve, and he made limbs out of a road sign.
Yeah.
My stepson traded my bow for weed.
Oh my
And
God.
How do y'all cut those arrows? Do you use a hacksaw?
Oh man, I remember that.
Anyway.
I had one come in asking if we had the, he was talking about an insert, but y'all got the thing that screws into the air?
Oh yeah. It's something else.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between like a complete newbie that ain't gonna know anything, and then somebody that's been hunting. We got people that come in shooting a right-handed bow, left-handed, and vice versa, and it's like they know better. I don't know. Anyway.
It's the stories we could tell.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happens that I'm scared to tell it on here, because I know a lot of people find us on here locally now, and I don't want to piss nobody off, but there's some doozies, believe me.
I'll have to go through my list. Oh, the guy, his arrows was going through his bag target, so he just started sighting in on a piece of plywood.
That's no joke. And I think that might have been in one of them Saturday videos. But yeah, just started shooting at plywood and tore all his veins off and didn't, I don't know.
The last question I got is, Steve gets in back tension or resistance?
I don't know. For me, resistance, because with the back tension, I still know when it's going to go off. I've shot back tension, and I just know, even without a click, you know about where it's at. And I'm bad about getting there and trying to mentally pull through it, but I'm still just twisting it, firing that thing off. But resistance, you just keep pulling, and you really don't. I mean, I guess you could pull a little harder and make it go off, but it's not like you're physically twisting or doing something. And as I twist, one time, 2016 maybe, 15, I was like, I'm sticking to my back tension. I'm tired of not shooting the back tension. I'm going to shoot it. And I was out there drilling in the yard with it. And me and TJ and a couple people got to this tournament, and I had my chest poked out, got my back tension. I whooped that thing out. I pulled back, and I remember I held for what seemed like 2.7 hours, and it would not shoot. And I was like, man, is something wrong with this bow? It wasn't. It was just me mentally, instead of in the yard shooting it, I was thinking about it. You know what I mean? So I was making it go off, and when I'd make it go off, I'd pull it away from my face a little bit. Hell, I broke like 2 arrows, and finally I was like, all right. I threw that thing back in the pouch and whooped out a little goose or something and finished the tournament with it and did good, after I switched releases. And after that, I was like, all right, this is not good. But
that's when the pond had froze over at the thing and the air went straight through the ice in the pond.
So, but to me, the back tension, you're physically still, even if you're doing it the right way, you're twisting it to make it shoot. But the resistance is true. Like, there's nothing I can really do to make it go off unless I just snatch or something, So I vote for the resistance style.
Yeah, we are hoping to shoot 3D this year.
Yeah. We are going to try our best. Really, the past 2 years has been a dud for us.
Yeah.
And it's several reasons. I mean, the COVID put a damper on things 2 years ago, big time. But it's also being around this every day. A lot of times on like a Sunday, it's just like we don't want to do it. And I know that sounds bad, but it's just kind of, and I like the total archery I like because it's something different. So we get excited about it, but I think we just need a fresh something, whatever, to get us going. But
I just think really with us only shooting the tack for we didn't even shoot the year before because they canceled it. And last year we shot the 3D at Kiwi. I just think without us really, I guess with us taking last year off.
Last year we shot maybe 1 or 2, and then went to tack, and then that was it.
That was it.
But it's just one of those. Kevin said, as a complete newbie, what kind of release would we recommend? It is preference. My problem with shooting a back tension is I've shot a wrist release for 30, however long I've been shooting, years, and when I tried to go to that back tension, I literally spent the entire off season, like during deer season, shooting the back tension, trying to be like, I'm gonna be ready with this. But I think it would take a lot longer for me to. But somebody, if you're newer, I think. If you're learning it from the get go, it may be
easier.
Better, to go back tension or either way, thumb button, back tension, resistance, whatever.
I would almost say if you haven't shot a back tension, I would almost say start with a thumb button first, just to kind of get used to that feel, because it changes your anchor point, changes your peep height.
Yeah.
So that's the way I would go. At least with a thumb button, you do have control of when that shot goes off.
Yeah.
And then once, if you think you're ready for a back tension, then switch over to it.
It's preference though.
It really is.
Technically with all releases you want a surprise shot, but even with me, I don't have a surprise shot. I know when it's going off, and I've done it that way so long. I went through target panic and this, that, and the other, and it's a pain in the butt. But I know a lot of the pros will keep a back tension and a thumb button in their pouch, and I think most of them say in the wind where they actually need sort of a controlled shot, they'll go thumb button, or otherwise they'll shoot back tension, or if they notice something's going on weird with back tension, they'll switch over. But it'll be a very similar release, just one does one and one does the other. But anyway, Vanessa says she wants to go sometime this year. I need to get Dawn another bow going.
I'm gonna get Vanessa needs to shoot hers. We ain't had a chance to do anything.
Luckily I decided to spend. TJ shot the goat.
Yep.
And we both enjoyed that release, and I like the theory behind it. You can do both. It's a good built release. It's expensive, but it's nice.
It is. It's well built, and it's not super complicated to switch over. That was the biggest thing that was I was torn between. Okay, how complicated is this to switch over? It's not complicated. It's easy. It shot great, but it worked great. I just shoot so much better with a wrist strap. I guess it's because that's all we use in the shop when we tune, or
Yeah.
you know, it's what we use. It's what I use when I hunt or shooting at the house or here. I just shoot the wrist strap so much better.
Uh-oh, I think we got a spammer. How do I delete the spammer? Let's see here.
But yeah, you'll like it, Goat. It's a good release. I really did.
Remove. Okay. Is that all we got?
That's all the questions I've got.
But yeah, tune in. It'll be later next Thursday. We got something up our sleeve. Anybody have a V331? Trade for a EVL 34? Ryan said no. Ryan, I've got your strings laid out, and I put them on sort of the back burner because I figured you'd wait till after hunting season, but I'm gonna try to get them done here shortly. In the next, I've been saying that for a month, but anyway, that's all we got.
I can't think of anything else.
Check us out next Thursday, and then probably give us, not next week, but the next. I'm hoping to start putting some regular stuff back out and get back into rhythm now that we're getting all these holidays past us and stuff going on, and get some of these bows reviewed. Second or third week, we got a shoot coming up at Kiwi. I'm sure we'll try to hit
January 22nd through and the 23rd, I think, maybe.
We'll try to go there, and then y'all just let us know what else. I'm gonna talk to some Broadhead companies. Y'all let us know what else you want to see. We'll try to start getting back with it here in the next week or two. So thanks for tuning in.
Yep.
It's good to see y'all. I know y'all thought we had died. I tried to make a video or two there on Saturdays, and then like last Saturday we wasn't here because of Christmas and all that, so we've been missing. But I've talked to a few people through messages and stuff, so it's good to see y'all again.
Oh yeah.
But I guess look for us next Thursday, and we'll see y'all then.
Yep. See y'all.
Thanks.